Good morning. I'm going to read When the Leaf Blew In. That is the title of this book. And the author is Steve Metzger. Do you remember what the author does? And the illustrator is Kelly Lewis. Do you remember what the illustrator does? When the leaf blew in, the cow sneezed. Achoo! When the cow sneezed, achoo, the spider landed on the owl. Do you see the spider? When the spider landed on the owl swooped out of the barn. When the owl swooped out of the barn, the pig dove into the mud. When the pig dove into the mud, the goat kicked over the bucket. When the goat kicked over the bucket, the chicken spun round and round. When the chicken spun round and round, the horse reared up and neighed. When the horse reared up and neighed, the sheep leaped over a barrel. When the sheep leaped over a barrel, the duck jumped into the pond. When the duck jumped into the pond, the frog hopped onto a lily pad. When the frog hopped onto a lily pad, the dragonfly buzzed across the sky. When the dragonfly buzzed across the sky, the dog woke up and chased the squirrel. When the dog woke up and chased the squirrel, the robin flew into the tree. When the robin flew into the tree, the leaf blew in. The end. Do you remember what happened when the leaf first blew in at the start of the story? What happened? The cow sneezed. Achoo! Do you remember what happened after the cow sneezed? Achoo! The spider landed on the owl. Do you remember what happened after the spider landed on the owl? The owl swooped out of the barn. Do you remember what happened after the owl swooped out of the barn? The pig dove into the mud. Do you remember what happened after the pig dove into the mud? The goat kicked over the bucket. What do you think happened after the goat kicked over the bucket? Look at the chicken. What do you think the chicken is going to do? The chicken spun round and round. What do you think is going to happen to the horse after the chicken spins round and round? What do you think the horse is going to do? The horse reared up and neighed. What do you think is going to happen to the duck after the horse rears up and neighs? Not the duck, I'm sorry, the sheep. What do you think the sheep is going to do? The sheep leaped over a barrel. What do you think the duck is going to do after the sheep leaps over the barrel? The duck jumped into the pond. What do you think the frog is going to do after the duck jumps in the pond? The frog hopped onto a lily pad. What do you think happens to the dragonfly after the frog hops onto the lily pad? The dragonfly buzzed across the sky. What do you think happens to the puppy after the dragonfly buzzes through the sky? The dog woke up and chased the squirrel. What do you think happens to the bird after the dog chases the squirrel? The robin flew into the tree. What do you think happens after the robin flies into the tree? What do you think happens to this leaf right here? The leaf blew in. Well, I hope you enjoyed this story, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.